sell insurance? I said, yeah, I do. So my first question I asked, I said, how's your health? Well, I gained a little weight, which I knew he did. And the doctor had diagnosed me as being diabetic. Oh, so now you want to take your health seriously. I said, are you taking oral medication or have you taken insulin? They put me on insulin. I said, well, we can see, unfortunately, I wasn't able to get him covered because if he was just an oral medication, if you're taking something like metformin, I probably could have got him covered because that right there, just losing the weight is reversible. Okay, if I lose that 50 pounds I gained, then the doctor say, hey, your hemoglobin A1C is now 4.5, and now I can take you off your medicines, but they don't understand that. Now, going into that is, and this is something that I kind of just thought about, it's heartbreaking to me, as far as our community, as far as the Black community, why do you think that as Black people will at times, so untrusted in getting insurance policies and wait till the last minute till we develop some things that are normally prevalent in our community, like high blood pressure, diabetes, heart attack, and stroke? Why do you think that we don't want to get those policies early on when we at our healthiest and fittest, but you get a 30 or 35-year term policy, even if you develop that at 40, you still have that policy in place?
Well, I thought some of it has to deal with, financial education, proper financial education. But just being a country boy like myself, one thing I never understood was this guy that came to see my grandparents every Monday to pick up, I don't know, 75 cents. So my grandparents paid for burial policies, life insurance policies, real small, but they called them penny policies. And they would pick up 73 cents forever. I mean, for every week, forever. Some guy would walk around, put the change and just disappear. So, but as my grandparents got older, especially when they crossed over 80, the company comes in, here go all your premiums back. We canceling your policy. So this breeds distrust. I know my grandparents weren't the only one. I actually have a friend of mine who started selling those policies himself. This is like 15 years ago. Those policies are still available. The company with a bank, you give your bank $1, they go out and make $10. Insurance company, you get them $1, they go out and make $25. So that mistrust, when your grandparents don't even want to tell their kids about what just happened. They find out because the kids got to pay for a funeral now. I thought mama had a policy. Well, they came and gave her money back. She paid $800 into this thing. They gave her $850 back. She thought she had a $6,000 policy. Oh, okay. Well, I guess we can go and bury her for $10,000. Man, you got a life insurance policy? No, I don't want that to happen to me. They don't trust these companies, whether it's the companies you never heard of or John Hancock or whoever it is, nationwide. There's a big distrust, which is kind of understandable in the Black community, no matter what's happening.
Which is understandable. But, I think a lot of companies have taken, some have taken a hit on the chin with their reputation. So about that. So I haven't seen the pennies policies, but I do know if you do reach a certain age with your insurance policy, if you live to be 99 of 100, the insurance company will give you all your premiums back. They will give you your premiums back, but that is contingent upon if you live in that long. And I know more the universal policies, they do that, but I don't want to get too definite universal policies because I have one, but I know if I live a certain age, not only will I lose my cash value, but I'll lose my face value as well. So also the people need to be cognitive. If you're going to get it, make sure you have a level term or a level whole life. And universals are good, but
there's some multiple ones. I have all kind of different type of universals that I offer as well. I have one especially for people over 55 who've never been sick, or hospitals, I should say, not sick, but hospitalized, maybe on one prescription. I have this company called North American Company. A lot of people don't know North American. Who is that? They specialize in senior citizens. They're being pushed highly by the what's my new fraternity? Oh, AARP. Yeah. They're highly endorsed by AARP, and I sell them, and it's like I didn't know who they were, but that's the beauty of of being like, in a position to help different people, because there's so many policies out there that do so many different things. It's hard though, breaking down the wall of trust, and some people just are kind of reckless with money anyway. So
Right. But that being said, with trust, we also with those insurance policies too. And I know sometimes we on the docket to make a sale, and we may say, hey, okay, how many pounds you overweight? Oh, I'm just 15. Okay, well, we'll just say you're 10. Some
right.
insurance agent I've heard doing that. But when you get to that legal part and say, okay, I can't qualify this person, or if they will qualify, but their rate gonna be double because they're a smoker, we'll put you down as a non-smoker. And that person passes away a year from black lung disease or lung cancer. A lot of people don't realize that policy is contestable because you said this person didn't smoke. So you go as an insurance agent because you haven't made a sale in 3 weeks. I got to make a sale. It's going to be a big policy. You put that person down as a non-smoker. A year and a half later, they die from lung cancer. You find out this person smoked a pack of Marlboros or 6-pack of Marlboros a day. Your insurance company like, hey, was this an error? Did you intentionally do this? So
there will be an investigation.
Right. So there will be an investigation. Now, if there's a smoker and then they just went and died in a wreck or something, they had a catastrophic wreck, that's different. Hey, it is what it is. But I would say as agents, you don't really want to just make a sale to be on using unethical practices. So it's tempting to do, but I'd rather be broke than be in jail.
People should know that most policies are contestable up to 3 years, and one reason for that is because of mainly because of suicide.
Right.
It's very common for somebody to buy a policy and to commit suicide, but they have to wait 3 years, and usually things work out better for somebody. They get some help if they can wait 3 years, and that's the rule there. But yeah, things like that happen periodically. Sometimes people just lie to an agent. And say I don't smoke. I've actually met people who told me that their spouse they didn't know their spouse smoked. They found out years into the marriage, and I was like, so I guess it's possible to show up on something. Everybody don't smell like an ashtray,
Yeah.
I even have, and it just let people know when it comes to marijuana, certain companies are different. My company's on the West Coast. They don't care.
They don't care.
My company is out of on this side of this side of the Mississippi. They treat it just like
they treat it like like tobacco. But before I wrap this up, I'm gonna tell you one of the saddest stories I saw. I was on a training in Macon, Georgia, and this lady, she worked for the school system down in Bibb County, Macon, for 30 years. She had no idea that the policy held at the school was a group policy. Now, someone didn't tell her, said, well, ma'am, you convert that group policy to a personal policy. Here this woman is, we go into her house, I see at least 10 pill bottles. She was a diabetic, insulin diabetic, very bad diabetic. She had all these bottles here, but also see an ashtray full of cigarette butts. Ooh. And her husband was also a diabetic as well. So she spent all that years thinking she had insurance. She thought, oh, this is my policy. That is a group policy. So my last question before we wrap this up is, can we explain to the people that a group policy is not necessarily your individual policy, and why should they look in the idea if they leave that job to converting that group policy to an individual policy if they can?
Well, usually when you have a policy at work, we say get them. You always do the extra coverage. That's great to have extra coverage just in case the unthinkable happens. Group policies are nothing but small term policies. They're term policies and they're really inexpensive. $20 to triple your salary. But they're not what we call portable. A portable policy is that's what I said. You come to me, you can go work for AT&T, Amazon, it goes with you. The policies that you have at your school system, the military is a big proponent of this. They have real nice $1 million policies. But when you see the price on that thing, the day they check out or sign them, get out of the discharge from the military, I've gotten some real calls and some real distressful calls because those they convert to age. So then The thing with the lady that you're talking about, she would have had to pay whatever that is because nobody else is going to insure. The good thing about that, because she was covering a group policy, they had to offer her insurance. Bad thing about that, the price she would have had to pay would have been astronomical. I could definitely see $500 to $750 a month really easily. For probably not that much money either. Probably like less than $100,000.
Less than $100,000, $700 for a less than $100,000 policy. And that's why I said, I tell people, look,
that's one of the hardest conversations. I got insurance. Where at? I got it at work. Let me tell you something about term policies also. It's a good or bad thing. Most term policies, I think it's as high as 97, maybe 98%, are never used. Most people don't die on the job.
Say that one more time. Say that one more time.
Most people don't die on the job while working. You usually get sick and you may have to leave your job, or you can't go to work. But when you buy these term policies, it's good to have in place just in case unthinkable happens. But about 98% of them are never used. So even though you got the policy at work, think about really, how do we want to go out in our old age? The kids around us, grandchildren around us. You're not working in. Your work policy is 20 years behind you, hopefully. So you have to. It's preparing for the future, your personal future, the future of the next generation. Get what you can, get it started. You can make increases and changes to the policies the older you get. So I encourage everybody to sit down with a professional, and get a plan that fits your situation.
Right. So, Brother Hires, how can people, if they want to get in contact with you and kind of look at a plan that is right for them, how can they get in contact with you?
Well, they can call me at 678-870-4001, or they can reach out to me by email. That's freddiehires@gmail.com, FREDDIEHIRES@gmail.com. It's best to call or text me. We can meet via Zoom. I'm licensed in Alabama and in Georgia, also Florida.
Okay. Now, one thing about Florida, I got a question about Florida because I met an agent years ago when I was working in Primerica, and he said Florida, they may have changed it. They say they do your license by county. They don't give it through the whole state. Is that true?
Yes, you have to just have to select a county where you're going to do business. Not a big deal. Biggest problem with Florida, they make you do your fingerprints again.
Wow.
Alabama, I just filled out an application. They say you were Georgia, you're good.
Right.
Reciprocity is rare. Florida has a semi-reciprocity or partial reciprocity, but they want you to redo they don't trust the fingerprints I gave to Georgia, I guess. So I had to go to a separate fingerprint place. But whatever county that Tallahassee is in, that's where I started.
Wow. Okay. Which is not far. So if you really wanted to do Tallahassee, Dade County, several counties there, you don't have
to go there. Just identify the county.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, Brother Hires, I really thank you for your time. Think this is a lot of good information. Again, people, if you want to get in contact with Brother Hires, he left his information there. And also, I will put his email address and the phone number in the description box. Better yet, I just put his email address because I don't feel comfortable putting a person phone number in there so everybody can get it. But if you want to see the phone number, you can also replay the video to get his phone number out. And I thank you for your time. And I hope you all find this interview very informal. And again, if you need to reach him, if you need to reach me, just send me an email or just hit me up in the comment box. Mr. Baker, I need to reach Brother Hires or Freddie Hires to look at my plan. I'll be more than happy to do that.
Definitely.
All right. So thank you, Brother Hires, and we're signing out.
All right. Take it easy.